Okay, Vice, before we start the lecture, kindly distribute the handouts. Okay, please be seated, thanks. So all of you got the handouts of the lecture? Okay, so before I start, let me give you an introduction what we are going to talk about today. The main topic that is under discussion is how to plan a website. And we will discuss all the relevant content to explain how we can go for a better planning of a better website. And through that, I will start initial brainstorming that what you know actually about planning, what you know actually about a website. So can anyone answer here in this class that do you have any information about a website or planning of a website? Vice, can you answer my question, please?
Hello.
Please come on.
No, ma'am.
No idea? Have you explored websites before?
Yes, ma'am.
So what you find over a website?
Ma'am, it's different. Ma'am, there are different type of websites. For example, Google, it's a proper website.
It's a search engine.
Yes, ma'am. It's
From where you
find
can?
anything or go to any other website. Or it's basically linked to other websites.
Okay, okay. Now let's collect our thoughts together. When we talk about what is a website, now what is basically a website is a product that a computer science student is willing to develop. Don't forget that you are a student, you are a learner who has to make websites in future. And basic purpose of this course is to equip you how to plan, how to make, how to implement websites. So there are different phases of this course. And we are starting the very first phase, that is starting the planning. And planning does not mean that last night I saw a dream and I woke up and I said, okay, I will start making a website onto that topic. No, it's not like that. So it's something that is very strongly striking you. It's something that you really feel need of. It's something that pushes you, urges you to start the development. And that's what basically a website is for. It's a collection of pages through which people can get information of their choice, of their requirement, of their willingness that they want to read, they want to apply in their professional and personal lives. So it's not necessarily that you are ICT students and for sure whatever website you will access would be referent to ICT. No, it can be referent to any topic. It can be referent to any walk of life. Just like if you want to know how to make a cupcake, you can go and type that content onto the search engine and you will get referent material from there. So keep this thing very clear in your mind that when you talk about making a website, it's basically either your idea, either a brainchild, any requirement that you find into the market, or just a crossing thought that inspired you, that motivated you to go for the development. But before we start the development, the moment you got the idea, the very first step will come, that is how to start, how to go for the development phase. Let's take an example. Can you build a house without an architectural map? Can you? No. So if you go for a building of a house without a map, what will happen? It will collapse. It will be disordered. It will be disorganized. It will be not up to the mark, not what you are willing to see. And maybe later on, once that product will come into the final phase, you don't like it. Being your own product, you are completely not following that structure which you have applied on. Same is the case that once you go for the development of a website, you are required to go for planning first. No, I got an idea, I started working on it. No, it's not like that. You need to go for proper planning. You need to go for research onto your topic. And what will be required here? We'll move to next slide, that we will go for the architectural responsibilities. As a web designer, as a web developer, what are the requirements that you need to keep in your mind? And we say we are dividing these requirements into 4 phases. And these 4 phases are the entire content of this course. If you learn these 4 phases, you are completely equipped to plan a better website. And if you focus onto it, you got the understanding of it, you can plan any product that strikes your mind. And the very first phase says, go for your target audience analysis. Figure out who are your target users. Figure out for whom you are creating that website. Figure out to whom you want to show that web page. And I will start exploring the very first in detail, that is figuring out target audience. You all are sitting here. Before I came here, I knew to whom I'm supposed to talk with. I know your age, I know you are students, I know your understanding level, I know your communication barriers, communication strengths, and then I gathered the material which will give you a quicker and better understanding in an easier way. That the information here should not be burdened with words. The language that is written over here should not be that complex that you are unable to understand it. So I have written short keywords. When I go for the analysis, I look what age group I'm focusing on. Either they are teenagers, either they are adults, either they are mature people, either they are old age people. And why I need to figure it out? The reason is that the content of my web page would be according to their age level. Definitely if I'm creating something for teenagers, naturally they want colorful things. A child will get attracted with images, animations, colors, so I need to make it very attractive. But if I'm focusing to an adult, they want maturity, they want soberness, they want decency. So the content that I will be presenting onto the website will be more sober, would be more proficient, would be less attractive and more professional. So this is how age is helping me while I'm planning my website. Then comes occupation. To which era of life they belong? Are they students? Are they professionals? Are they retired people? Are they entrepreneurs? Or they are just laymen walking on the road? And why I get for this analysis and go for this analysis, the reason is that I will be figuring out actual requirement of that person. If you are a professional, you need professional knowledge. If you are a layman, you need general knowledge. If you are a student, you need understanding based knowledge. So the aspect of knowledge will vary from your area of work. Moving to next is understanding. Understanding means what actually currently is your level, what knowledge you right now possess. Because you all are sitting here and I need to know how much you know about websites, how much you know about planning, and only then I can guide you and help you in getting more knowledge about it. So if I have a clear vision that you have no idea about planning, I will start from the scratch. And if I know that you have the basic content with you, then I will come up with upgraded content. I will skip the basics and I will move to the advanced knowledge. So the moment I realize your understanding level, it becomes easier for me to cater accordingly. Same as with the website. The content that you're supposed to present, it should be up to the understanding level of your target audience. And there are many other things that may involve while you are figuring out your target audience. Like, is it a local audience or a global audience? Just because if I'm moving from local to global, I need to keep in mind the cultural constraints. I need to keep in mind the social requirements. I need to figure out the language ethics. Just because if I talk about Pakistan, maybe people are more comfortable with national language. They are not that familiar with the international medium of conversation. So I have to switch my language for them. If I'm presenting it for the international world, naturally I have to meet the standards of the language which the international world can understand. So these and many more other perspectives you can consider while you are going for the analysis of your audience. Are you all clear with the first point? Clear? 100%? Okay. Moving to next one, that is the next phase, performing a competitive analysis. Competitive. What the word competitive means? Anis, a bit louder answer.
Yes, ma'am.
What the word competitive means?
Competitive means, I think, ma'am, it is competition, I think.
Competition. Very well said. Very well said. Thanks, Anis. So when we talk about competitive, we are talking about competitors who are there in the market. If I'm launching my product, I am directly in competition with all those who have already launched the product or who are on their way of launching that product. So if I want that people should focus on my product, I need to know what others are doing. I need to know how many similar products are there. If I'm launching an ICT blog, I need to see other ICT blogs. Just because I want to compare that if they are lacking somewhere, I should fill that gap. If they are successing somewhere, I should try to do it better than that. If nothing is like that in the world, I should come up with an innovative approach. That is, you are looking for the similar product range. After you have gone with the similar product range, figure out the reasons of their success and failure. You all have idea about search engine optimization. All of you? Or some of you? Some of you. So when I talk about search engine optimization, it means that the most recently accessed websites come onto the topmost ranking of a page. Like if I'm using Google, the first page will be showing me the top 5 websites that are mostly accessed by the people. And why it comes into the top 5? Because it is maintaining content currency, it is updating its knowledge on regular basis, all the content that is inside it is not fake, it's valid, it's logical, it's factual, it's counter-checked. No such thing is there which leads it towards blacklisting, which leads it toward a banned site, a banned page. That shows how you can come onto the topmost range. Now when we talk about topmost range, this shows that it is a success of a page. And when I look onto those pages, I will definitely cater the success ratio of these pages. After that, failure. Failure means those pages which are following down the drain. On page number 13, page 20, 25. The reason being is I created a website right now, today. And for next 3 years, I'm not touching it. I'm not adding anything onto it. I'm not refining the content. I'm not adding new information into it. I am simply a sleeping partner of that website. And what will happen? That my blog will suffer. And at the end of the day, definitely I will also suffer, because this product of mine is no more at a success ratio, rather it is going in a failure zone. So these things you need to work on before you go for the creation of your product. Coming to next phase, the third one, content outline. Content outline means, naturally, I will not add my viewpoint. I will not add my thoughts. I will not add a content which I have seen just placed on the desktop. No, I need to go for a valid content. I need to study. I need to collect content from multiple sources, from all the sources that are available to me, and those sources which are currently applicable. Like if I said that in 1980 an author made a research and I'm quoting it, what does that mean? Umar, if I am adding a content which was researched back in 1980, do you think it is the right content to be added up?
Yes, ma'am.
Why?
Because it will help us.
Don't you think you are living in 2018, and if a content of 1980 is added up onto a web page, will it help your website or will it go for the failure of your website?
It will go
Failure.
failure.
And why failure? Because it's an outdated information. Clear now? That you need to go with current content. You cannot go with outdated, obsolete content, right? Obsolete content says that you have no current knowledge of that area. Whatever I'm talking about, I should take it from the current date. I should not talk about the time when people used to plan their websites on a piece of a paper. I have to tell you that you have to go and search into the market. That is the latest trend. You can't go on to your own understanding. You have to go with the understanding of the market, what people demand, what is the right choice. That means that you have to hold the latest idea into your website. And that's what this phase means. The third phase of planning says that content has to be, first of all, updated. It has to be latest. It has to be current. You need to maintain currency of your knowledge, and in that you will go for further division of your text. What are the main links that I will hold onto a page? What will be the child links associated with the main? And what are other supportive contents I need to place on my web page? And supportive content can be an image, can be an audio, can be a video, can be anything that you think will support the content of your website. So all this material needs to get drafted. You will draft it on a processor, a word processor, a notepad, where the things are written well. You are maintaining the grammatical concept, you are maintaining the spellings of your content, so that once it's uploaded onto your website, nothing is wrong in it. So you write it, you check it, you verify it, and then you publish it over your website. So before you start developing a website, content has to be ready with you, so that once you come onto the phases of development, you are not searching here and there for information. Things are well aligned, well planned, and you just add them and upload them. That's the third phase. Are you all with me? Clear? Okay. Moving to the last phase. Last phase says create a site map. When we talk about a map, we say graph. When we talk about a map, we say a layout. When we talk about a map, we are talking about the structure of a website. How content is going to flow in my entire website. I'm going to use which particular pattern to represent the information. So 3 patterns are mentioned here: hierarchical, linear, and random. What the word says, hierarchical. Wise, what the word says, hierarchical.
Hierarchical basically means a tree-like structure.
Tree-like structure and
Having one parent and different childs.
right, thanks. So when we talk about hierarchical, we are talking about a tree. We are talking about parent-child nodes. We are talking about that few information will come onto the main page and the rest of the information will be into the child pages. So my entire content will not be on a single page. I will create a home page and home will take me to the other pages. Just like giving you a review how hierarchical structure will work. So the graph is showing you the information. A home page gives you the link of 3 pages on it, that is education, experience, and lectures. And the moment you click onto the lecture page, it will take you to the further 2 links, that either an audio lecture or a video lecture. Now this shows a tree structure, and this shows that you are planning a organized website. You are going for a very suitable way of creating a web page. Means you are planned, organized, and synchronized in it. But the entire content of the page is not available onto the first page. The first page is just holding the information about home, and home will give you the link of 3 pages, and once you click on one page, it will take you its supportive links, and this how you will be maneuvering into your entire website. Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay. Moving to next one, that is linear. Linear means ordered. Linear means in a sequence. Linear means that everything is available onto the same page, onto the main page. Nothing is hidden, nothing is invisible, nothing is left on dig and down. And if I talk about the same example on home, I have all the links available. Now it's on me which link I want to go. So no further digging down is there. Click on that link and get the impression. So if I have 20 pages, all the 20 links will be available here. And that is another professional approach of creating a website. Normally nowadays, we try to make things easier for our end user, just because we want to create a user-friendly interface. And we are addressing to everyone who is either a computer trained or untrained person. So when we are addressing both type of people, means literate and illiterate, with the perspective of computer technology, we have to make things very easy. We have to present a very comfortable interface, and linear is one of that. So if I say you are making a website, choose linear order. It will be preferable order to make a website, just because it will enhance your target market. More users will be addressed for this particular approach. And if I click on education, I will be going to the education page, but these links will remain be there. They will not get hidden out. They will remain be visible onto one of my frame available over the page, onto a section of a page, and if I have 20 pages, this link will reside in all the 20 pages. I need not to go back to jump to the home again. I will just click here and will be back onto the home page. Are you clear with it?
Yes.
Can you compare hierarchical and linear?
Yes.
Yes? Sure? Okay. Moving to the third structure and the last one, random. What random means? Anything that is
Not in a sequence.
not in a sequence. Anis, If it's not in a sequence, do you think it is a preferred way of making a website?
No, ma'am, it is not.
And if it is not preferred, what trouble your end user may face?
End user may face a lot of problems like it is not in a sequence way, so it is not well managed.
Right. It's not well managed. Locating the information will be difficult for him. He will be looking here and there, striving for the content, trying hard to know where information is buried, and you have increased the challenges for your end user. And when you increase the challenges, it means that you didn't thought about them. You thought about your own mind, that if you are fine with it, everybody is fine with it. No. When you are making a product, you have to think like your end user. You have to reverse your position. You have to come up to the level of your end user. Only then the best perfect product can come. Otherwise, it is difficult to go for the perfect product. A quick wind up, a quick review. What we discussed today. How many things we have discussed today? Product, planning, architectural responsibilities, 4 phases in architectural responsibility. First phase, go for the analysis of your target market, who are going to use it. Go for the competitive analysis, who are your competitors sitting in the market, so that you can come up with the bombastic product that can capture the market segment. Third is, you need to align your content. Your content has to get worked on, planned on, well written, so that once you start the development, you are not looking for the material here and there. And lastly, how you are going to present that information. Presenting that information means either you are going for hierarchical, linear, or random order. And out of the 3, which one is the best one? Linear. And why linear? Because it is giving a very user-friendly environment to your end user. Done for the day? Any questions? Clear? Thanks for Allah Hafiz. With the review of the session that what we have discussed today, can any one of you give me a quick wind up what we discussed today? Anmol. Few words that you remembered in today's lecture.
सबसे पहले product planning, then
competitive phases, architecture. Okay, so few things are there in your mind and few you are unable to remember, but nothing to worry about. You need to review your session. I have given you the handouts. You can read them out as well as once you go back home. But let's come up with a quick wind up that what we discussed today. First thing is, we talked about that when we go for a website, website is my product, website is my child, website is my thought, website is my idea. And before I start going for the implementation of my idea, I have to plan it well. And why I plan? Because a product can only be fruitful if it is well organized, well planned, well worked on. Otherwise, it would be just like a building which has no architectural map available with it. And it will turn to a disaster. It will turn to a failure. Once you realize the importance of planning, you need to know how to plan, how to make a plan, how to come up with the best approach. And that best approach falls into 4 different phases. What you do, you come up with first phase, that for whom you are developing the product. And that is target market analysis. which people are the users of your product, which people are going to search your website, and why you do that, so that you develop it as per their mental abilities, as per their language skills, as per their interests, and as per their age level. And you are trying to fit that information accurately into their age frame. Secondly, you come up with the second phase, which is competitive analysis. Competitive analysis means figuring out several other products that are similar to yours. And why you go for that? Because you want to go with a best product. You can't be a just copier. You can't be a trend follower. You need to be a trend setter. And to become a trend setter, you need to come up with innovation. And innovation can only come when you know what currently is there, so that you can come up with something different. Moving to the third phase, that is content outline. Content outline means that brief out what you are going to add up into your web page, and how you have to write the draft. You have to search the content, use all sources, use books, use digital media, talk to scholars, talk to researchers, talk to experts, talk to professionals who are in the market, get their knowledge either in a written form or in an audio form or in a lecture form, create images, create maps, and that all is gonna complement your website. So your content has to be extraordinary. You can't please people through images. You can't please people through Outlook, but you need to make it a perfect one. And perfect can only be done when the content is perfect. And coming up with the last one, the last phase, which is a site map. How you want to present that information. And out of the three, that is hierarchical, linear, random, we preferred linear as the best choice, because linear is gonna open up the doors for everyone, either professional or non-professional. Everyone will feel comfortable while using your website. And these are the 4 phases that you need to keep in your mind once you start planning of your website. I hope you all are clear with this session.
Yes, ma'am.
100%. Do review your work and come up with any questions in the next session. Okay? Allah Hafiz.